Hello, welcome to this lesson on complete sentences, sentence fragments, and run-on sentences. In this lesson, we're also going to talk about varying sentence length to make your writing more interesting and exciting. Okay. Now, I've provided you with a couple of supplementary videos here from YouTube if you want to check those out. All right. So first of all, what is a complete sentence? A complete sentence is a group of words which, first of all, has a verb, it has a subject, and it expresses a complete thought. Okay, so for example, I went to the mall yesterday. Okay, so let's check our three criteria here to see if it's a complete sentence. Does it have a verb? Yes, went is a verb or a simple predicate. Does it have a subject? Yes, I went to the mall yesterday. Okay. Does it express a complete thought? Well, we're not left with any questions. We know who went to the mall. We know where they went. Okay. We're not really left with any questions. So this does express a complete thought. I went to the mall yesterday is a complete sentence. It has all of the three criteria that a sentence needs to have. All right, so now let's talk about sentence fragments. All right, a sentence fragment is a group of words that does not have either a subject or a verb, or it does not express a complete thought. So, went to the market. Is that a complete sentence, or is it a sentence fragment? Well, we don't know who went. Okay, there is no subject. We have the verb, but no subject, so this is not a complete sentence. It is a sentence fragment. So we can correct this sentence by adding a subject. Okay, so down here I've added Batman. Batman is our subject. Batman went to the market. And that is a complete sentence. All right, what I'd like for you to do is just write on your Cornell notes, you can write down these sentences or sentence fragments, and I want you to determine whether or not they are complete or whether they're sentence fragments. Okay, so you might want to, I'll do the first one with you. So I want you to write down pie is very. Pie is very. Now, is that a sentence? Is it a complete sentence or is it a sentence fragment? Well, does it have a subject? Yes, it does. Pie. Pie is our subject. Does it have a verb? Yes, it has a verb. Is. But what is it? It's very delicious? Disgusting? I don't know. So it does not express a complete thought. So in brackets here, you can say sentence fragment does not express a complete thought. All right, and then I want you to move down through the rest of the sentences and indicate whether they are sentences or sentence fragments. And if they are not complete sentences, that is, if they are sentence fragments, you need to indicate why. So there's a bit of practice there, and we'll go over the answers in class. All right, now moving on to run-on sentences. A run-on sentence is made up of two or more sentences written as though they were one. This is often due to missing commas or conjunctions or connecting words. All right, an example here, a run-on sentence. Bruce Wayne is so rich the Batmobile is the fastest car around. Okay, so that's written as if it were one sentence, but actually there are two sentences there. All right, so Bruce Wayne is so rich, that could be one sentence by itself. The Batmobile is the fastest car around, that could also be a sentence in and of itself. So let's change it by adding a conjunction, a connecting word. Bruce Wayne is so rich and the Batmobile is the fastest car around. Okay, pretty easy. All right, or we could actually, if we wanted to, say Bruce Wayne is so rich and add a full stop there. Just put a period there and capitalize the next letter. The Batmobile is the fastest car around. So we could actually take this relatively long sentence and change it into two shorter sentences. Okay. Once again, I want you to read these sentences or run-on sentences indicate whether they are complete sentences or run-on sentences. If they are run-ons, you need to indicate why. So once again, take some time to write that in your or on your Cornell note sheet. All right, now let's move on to varying sentence length. This has to do with making sentences longer or shorter. Okay, they need to be complete. All right, all of your sentences need to be complete sentences, but actually we can shorten sentences and make them longer. Okay, and there's a reason we would do that in our writing. There are several reasons. So using sentences which are the same length can become monotonous and boring to the reader. Vary your sentence length in order to make your writing more engaging or fun to read, to change the rhythm of your writing. Writing has a certain rhythm, like music. It has a pattern when we read it out loud. So if you change the rhythm of your writing, again, it can make your writing more engaging, and we can do that by varying sentence length. It can also change the tone of your writing. Okay, it can make your writing sound more menacing or more friendly. All right, let's take a look at an example here. So all of the sentences below are complete. Each passage gives the same information. However, they all have varying lengths. So Matt went to the mall and had an ice cream which was very tasty. That's a complete sentence. It's not run-on. It's not a sentence fragment. Okay, it's just a relatively long sentence that gives quite a bit of information. So I can actually cut that up into 2 or 3 smaller sentences. Matt went to the mall and had ice cream. It was very tasty. So you can hear my rhythm changing there, right? Or I could say, Matt went to the mall. He had an ice cream. It was very tasty. That one becomes kind of short and choppy, and maybe that's how you want your writing to sound. You might have your own reasons for that. So again, listen to the rhythm here. Matt went to the mall and had an ice cream, which was very tasty. Matt went to the mall and had an ice cream. It was very tasty. Matt went to the mall. He had an ice cream. It was very tasty. Again, the rhythm changes. The way we receive that information, which is the same, becomes different. If it's read out loud, it sounds different. Okay, it gives us sort of a different feeling. The tone changes. All right. So the last thing I want you to do here is I want you to watch this video. Okay, and this video gives a really good example of how we can change our writing by varying sentence length, and because the writing or because the sentences that they use are read out loud, we can really get a sense of just how much the writing changes and how rhythm can change the tone of writing. Okay, so how changing the length of sentences can make writing more exciting for the reader. So I want you just to take a moment to watch that video. Okay, and that's it for today's lesson. Thank you for listening.